who say they have done their time but are still imprisoned by court fees and fines. We are now hearing from Oklahomans for criminal justice reform about the issue with a focus on fees. Fox 23's Morgan Martin joins us live in studio with what she's learned about 4 bills that would address these concerns and one woman who is now an ambassador for change after serving time.
Shay, that woman says she's made it her mission to help others who are in a similar situation. And Oklahomans for Criminal Justice Reform says the difference between fines and fees is crucial in this conversation.
I did my crimes and I served my time. And I'm not saying that I'm innocent. What I'm saying is that you don't even realize how much of a victim you are by the system and the money that they're trying to squeeze out of the population that does not have it.
Tess Jarvis says she's turned her life around after serving time, but was left dealing with nearly $50,000 in court fines and fees. It's a problem many Oklahomans face as they work to get their lives back on track after incarceration. Michael Olson with Oklahomans for Criminal Justice Reform says it's important to note the distinction between fines and fees.
Fines are based on punishment. They are directly a punishment for the crime and act as deterrence. So you have to pay this fine as part of your punishment. Fees, on the other hand, are what keep the court system running. They're basically money to make sure that the courts have enough money to run.
He says there are 4 bills in this year's legislative session to address fees.
These are all fees-based, and I think we can agree that this sort of pay for use funding model, similar to something like Netflix, where a lot of times people think that you're the one using the service, you should be paying for it. But a thing like the court system or public safety is really a benefit to everyone. It's not just the individuals using the court system. It's supposed to protect all Oklahomans.
First up, Olson says House Bill 1462 would prioritize paying restitution to victims.
And obviously, Oklahomans for Criminal Justice Reform and most people in Oklahoma would say that that is like a fair use of money to make the victim whole. So we want to make sure that that is happening before the government is taking that money to fund its programs.
Second, he says House Bill 1460 would remove 16 fees, as many of these individuals simply don't have the money to give. Third, Olson says Senate Bill 973 would eliminate the private collection of fines and fees. He says right now, sheriffs can outsource money collection to third parties, but with a 30% markup the individual has to pay. Lastly, Olson says House Bill 1480 would have the juvenile system match the adult system with hearings on a person's ability to pay. Tess says these bills address things that affect her everyday life since she was released.
It's just like shows a light at the end of the tunnel, that there is change in the works and that there are people who care.
One thing that helps Tess in the short term is when a Cleveland County clerk helped her fill out paperwork regarding her ability to pay, a process she didn't even know existed.
It was like a beautiful blessing, and what grace. Like, I don't even know who that woman is, but like, I will forever appreciate her.
Now Tess has made it her mission to help others with that same paperwork.
I want to pay it forward. I've helped a few dozen people. It's a way to represent yourself. I did it for myself, and it empowers people to know that they do have a say in their own future.
Tess says she feels called to continue advocacy work for women, and she says she's working to get her master instructor license in cosmetology. She plans to go back and teach women at Eddie Warrior Correctional Center in Taft. Live in studio covering news that matters, Morgan Martin, Fox 23 News.
All 4 of the bills Morgan mentioned are working their way through the state legislature. You can check on their progress in this story on fox23.com.